Welcome aboard, Meghna. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We have a lot of questions here ahead for you. Let's get started with the first one. Resilience has been the key theme for MSMEs in this past year, something that all stakeholders have been striving towards. What, according to you, makes for resilience for MSMEs? Meghna?
Madan, in the pandemic, we kind of expected that about 25% of the small businesses would take a hit, because of the, adverse economic effects that we've had with the lockdown and everything. But as we look at the data today, it's actually 10% and not 25%, which means that our small businesses have been extremely resilient in terms of being able to survive this. One of the key reasons why these MSMEs are resilient is because the ability to innovate, what we call jugaad, right? In the pandemic itself, we've seen these small businesses quickly pivot and look at newer sources of income. For example, a garment factory became a producer of masks. And within the first 30 to 45 days of the pandemic, we had abundance of availability of different kinds of masks. Again, if you look at the second wave, if you look at there was a shortage of oxygen and a lot of medical equipment. And we saw that a lot of these small businesses became distributors of oxygen cylinders and oxygen concentrators, or started manufacturing them, but quickly in the matter of 2 to 3 weeks. So this ability to be able to pivot and understand what the need of the market is and look at alternative sources of income while you may not be able to do what you do regularly, and repurposing is, I think, one of the key reasons why our businesses are very resilient and they've been able to weather the storm.
Thanks, Meghna. Now, even before the pandemic began, a lot of MSMEs have had systemic challenges. So, what are some of these challenges that became even worse with the first and second waves of the pandemic, Meghna?
So one of the key challenges for MSMEs always has been access to cheap credit. If you look at the overall landscape of credit in India, right, we have 60 million small businesses according to the government, right? But only 15% of them have access to formal credit. Even in that 15%, actually, Madan, about 99% of that credit is against a mortgage of a real property like your office or your home which you own. So small businesses don't have access to credit at the right price, which is unsecured without giving a collateral. That's one of the key challenges which has been there before the pandemic, and it's kind of been amplified. The second big challenges that MSMEs face is access to more and more customers, to be able to discover more and more customers. And now in the pandemic, because the movements have been restricted, right, they've kind of been able to, they've not been able to discover customers because they don't have the technological means to find them online. But earlier they would just go to travel across the country, find customers, pitch to them. Especially if you're manufacturing something, you need to go visit your customers who are larger companies and sell your product. That's one of the challenges that small businesses have kind of faced during the pandemic. That's really been amplified.
Thanks, Meghna. So, if getting access to capital is a challenge, what role can technology play over here? How can technology help get over this challenge?
Sure. So, if you look at the volume of credit, right? If you look at the amount of banks and NBFCs and lenders that we have, it's not possible to be able to fund close to 60 million MSMEs by following the traditional method of lending. That involves a lot of face-to-face interaction, visiting the MSMEs premise, and doing a lot of manual activities, including assessing the file of the application file manually. You can't do 60 million files. So banks, from their end, lenders need to adopt a digital strategy where, if you automate the entire process of giving a loan 100%, then you're able to process more applications and reach out to more customers. Also, a lot of banks and NBFCs are kind of forced to look at your MSMEs within your regional access because because they're not able to access everyone across the country. But if there's a digital platform that a bank would adopt to, or a lender, then they can reach out to businesses across the country and process loans. So from the lenders and adopting to digital technologies and automating the process end to end is a key factor in the ability to scale this. Also, to look at alternative forms of data. If you look at banks, they just focus on financial information and projections. And that's one of the key data point to lend. It's very difficult to anticipate, if you look at a projection of a small business to say, look at its potential 2-3 years from now at a very early stage. You can do that for larger companies. So banks should also look at alternative forms of data, like GST data, POS machines are there, that form of data. So banks adopting, digital data strategies, analytics, and digitizing, they can really be scaled their, lending to MSMEs.
Thanks, Meghna. You briefly mentioned banks and NBFCs over there. Tell us a little bit more about why have traditional banks and NBFCs been reluctant to provide easier access to credit to MSMEs?
If you look at, if you look at the situation today, right, there is no standard way of assessing credit. Unlike if you compare it to, giving individual loans, we have a CIBIL. And there are 300 million people on the CIBIL database. And today it's very easy for a bank or a lender to standardize and say, if you have a CIBIL score of 900, then you're, or 850, then you can get this interest rate and you're eligible for these kinds of financial products or services. Whereas you have a score of 750, then you might be able, you should pay a higher interest rate. And then these could be the other kinds of financial products and services that you're eligible for. So it's very easy for banks and lenders and fintechs to standardize this when it comes to individual lending. But if you look at the business situation, we have credit rating agencies that give a credit score. But if you look at that, only 4% of the businesses today have a formal credit rating. And it's very expensive to get a credit rating done, right? For the remaining 96%, all the banks and lenders are employing their own internal assessment methods to give a business a loan. And these are not standardized. So because of this, there's a lot of disparity, and then there's a lot of discomfort because, you don't have a benchmark to price the risk, and you kind of completely have to rely on your own internal methods, and that's not very scalable. So the need of the hour today is to kind of have that benchmark or a score, a good business score, a trust score for a business, on the basis of which any lender could say, if the trust score of this business is, let's say, 800, or 900, then they're eligible for these interest rates. If the trust score is low, then they should get a higher interest rate. But if you look at the situation today, whether you get a BBB+ rating and you're the best, MSME, you would get like 16% compared to a large business which gets a BBB+ rating, because credit rating agencies are not giving AAA ratings to MSMEs, even if they have an extremely good financial outlook. The highest rating you would ever get is a BBB+. So that means you'll only get a 16%. You're not going to get 8% like an entity that gets a AAA or a AA rating. So that's exactly the reason why, the businesses don't have access to credit at the right interest rates. And this kind of standardization using alternative data and analytics is the way forward to be able to lend to MSMEs effectively at a scale.
Thanks, Meghna. We talked a bit earlier about technology and data. Data is the new oil. It's the mantra that has been defined this past decade. So what are some of the various kinds of insights that can enable MSMEs to become more resilient and more competitive using data, Meghna?
So MSMEs themselves can use a data-driven strategy to make decisions, right? Large businesses have access to consulting companies like PwC and everybody else. They also have access to a lot of technology on the basis of which they make data-driven decisions. If MSMEs themselves had access to data, for example, you have a large customer. If there's a case filed against a large customer and that comes in the newspaper, if you got to know well in time, if you had access to that information on a timely basis, then you can have a collection strategy. If the promoter is the main person you're interacting with in that business has resigned and quit, there's a controversy in the family, and there's a change in ownership, then that's a sign. If you knew early, then you'll be able to make a decision on your collection strategy. For small businesses themselves, if they have the ability to monitor their customers and suppliers, they can make better decisions in terms of who they want to do business with, and they can also have a better collection strategy. And businesses themselves, if they digitize, for example, digitizing your accounting, right? Using a POS machine to collect instead of collecting cash, using some of these SMS technologies to send payment collections. There are a lot of simple technologies that you can adopt where you yourself can make, this kind of data available tomorrow to a lender, which is an alternative kind of data. Then you could be eligible for, better rates in credit, because instead of looking at just your financial statements, which may not be the best source of indication of your business health, but the last 15 days transaction on your POS machine might actually tell you that your business has suddenly picked up, because financial statements are only once a year. So this way, businesses themselves adopting to digital strategies to make more data available about themselves, and using this kind of data about their customers and suppliers to be able to make better decisions would be a way forward for them to be able to grow.
Thanks, Meghna. Those are some very useful tips for the audience out there. But there's also a much ignored aspect of securing working capital, which is the long recollection cycles from the companies MSMEs work with. So what do you think some ways in which analytics can help over here? How can analytics help with these kinds of challenges? Meghna?
Sure. So if you look at the government eSamadhan portal, right, during the pandemic itself, there were, 68,000 applications filed for about 19,000 crores of overdue money for MSMEs from their customers. They filed grievances. And these customers were very large companies, or there was the government itself, right? So collections is an extremely, difficult challenge for MSMEs because small businesses typically tend to have larger customers, so they don't have too much leverage. So one of the things that we need at this point is the ability for these MSMEs to understand what is going wrong with their customers in a timely fashion. Like I just mentioned earlier, right? If they were able to get simple email alerts about something that's going wrong with their customer well in time, where they could focus their collection strategy, that would, be a way forward. Another thing is if you registered as an MSME with the government, then the other businesses who are your customers are compelled to kind of pay you within 45 days, right? That's the law. So take advantage of the law that's available and, become a formal business and, get a, MSME number, registration number from the government. That itself can also help give you more leverage when you're collecting.
Thanks, Meghna. You made a very clear case for the importance of insights. Unfortunately, many MSMEs are not quite sure how to incorporate these analytics to generate more insights. So, what is the way forward to go from analytics to insights, Meghna?
So there are a lot of solutions available now, right? If you look at companies like Khatabook, if you look at OK Credit, you look at Freddie Watch, or many other startups and smaller technology companies, everybody is now looking at providing business intelligence and analytics to small businesses, right? Even if you look at Zoho themselves, right? Zoho CRM and Zoho, the different Zoho apps, there's a lot of BI that you could get. And there are a lot of small companies that provide ERP technologies that can give you analytics and insights. And all of these technologies are now available on the mobile, because MSMEs, all of them may not use, devices and laptops and all of that, but everybody's got a mobile phone. There's an 80% penetration of internet and mobile phone in India, which is a great thing. So every MSME owner ideally would have a phone, a smartphone, and access to internet. So these kind of analytical tools, if it's available on your phone, which is available today, all you need to do is simply install it and use it at one click. I think that's the kind of the way forward for MSMEs to look at these simple tools where, they could use this to do better business. You even don't need to buy a POS machine anymore. You can get an app on your phone that could become a device. So, or you can add a simple device to your mobile phone, which would make it into a POS machine. So there are a lot of cost-effective solutions available for you to digitize and scale your business, and MSMEs should, use them.
Thanks, Meghna. For the last couple of questions, let's take a look towards the future some more. What are some of your final thoughts on how MSMEs can bring about resilience, how they can explore growth opportunities for the future to digital? How can they refocus their efforts and resources in this regard? Meghna?
So, if you look at MSMEs today, Madan, they contribute to about 30% of our GDP, right? But if they actually really scale and get access to credit, and they get access to customers and they scale, they could end up contributing up to 50% of our GDP. That means some of the small MSMEs today can become extremely large-scale industries tomorrow if they have the right support to grow. The way forward is digitization, which means that MSMEs, promoters wear multiple hats. They do everything by themselves, and that's not very scalable. So, using technology to digitize some of the functions that you need not do, but there's using that as a cheap alternative solution to scale, using digital ERP solution to manage your customers, using, billing software, which is available now through apps, using collection software where you can collect now even through WhatsApp, you can, do collections, right? The simple, effective solutions that are available, using, QuickBooks or any other kinds of technologies that are there in the phone, like Khatabook, if you're a smaller kirana store, to keep a tab of the accounts. So using these different kind of technologies, right, and automating, even if let's say you have a small factory, automating some of the processes in terms of running the entire end-to-end of manufacturing is something you can use a technology or an app, an IoT device to kind of make it more effective. And these are all very cost-effective solutions. So if you're able to use technology to grow and scale your business, that's the right way forward. And MSMEs also, if they are able to share some of this data with lenders, right? If you're filing GST, if you're willing to share your GST returns, right? If you're if you are a merchant on e-commerce platform, then your performance on Amazon, how many sales you've made, if that kind of data you're willing to share, you're willing to share data on your POS machine, you're willing to share alternative data that tell you how well you're doing now in the last 15, 20 days, that could help you get access to better credit. So MSMEs, again, exploring alternative forms of credit, buy now, pay later, decentralized finance, the newer ways MSMEs can now get access to smaller amounts of credit, but at shorter intervals compared to this once in a year facility that you would get from a bank. So doing that, exploring those options from fintech, where you can get, funding as and when you need based on the current state of your business at that point in time. Exploring that and digitizing, I think, is a way forward to have MSMEs make a larger dent and own more of the GDP contribution. And I mean, if you look at it, we have like a $1 trillion debt financing gap. So if that's really realized, then, the sky is the limit, right? We can look at some of these businesses becoming the Reliances and Tatas of tomorrow. And that's a possibility.
Thanks, Meghna. That's such a wealth of insights you just shared over there. So just to wrap up, what might economic activity look like if MSMEs had better access to capital, to meaningful insights on their customers, their vendors, and their partners? What might the scenario be like, Meghna?
So if we really realize this $1 trillion debt financing gap, right? And if MSMEs have had access to credit and they've had at a right price and they've had access to customers and they're able to scale, then we are looking at India, becoming the $5 trillion economy that we all dream of in the next 2 years, right? And the key to achieving that, to becoming, an economic superpower for us as a country, the key is, in fact, in the growth of these small businesses. Because if we realize a $1 trillion debt financing gap, then we're looking at a lot of these businesses becoming large-scale businesses and actually exporting and taking a global market share in many of the things that they produce. So that's why that to help us realize our dream of becoming a $5 trillion economy.
That's a great way to end this session, Meghna, on a very encouraging note there. Thank you so much for your insights. I think 3 key takeaways from me are what I would call the 3 I's: insights, integration, innovation. You do need technology and data to get insights into the business, but you must integrate them into your workflow and your processes. And finally, you must innovate and come up with new ways to become resilient and more productive for the future. Meghna, thank you so much.
Thanks, Madan, for the insightful questions.